Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Jake Gordon and Alex Lord. MLB Trade Rumors, a fantastic site for all offseason news and stuff like that. Did their top 50 free agents. They did projections. They did predictions. Two guys that they had predictions. We'll talk about one of them each. The first guy was Sonny Gray. They had him going 4-year, 90 mil. Someone had him going to the Braves. Listen, we talked about Sonny Gray earlier in the show, and I think he's a fantastic pitcher. He's going to be 30. I think he just turned 34 years old.
Hey, no, today's his birthday. I was just looking at that.
So today is his birthday. He's a top three finisher in the AL Cy Young race. So probably finish second or third behind Garrett Cole. Great pitcher. I mean, the guy's been really solid for the last 5 years. The thing is, are you going to give a guy a 4-year deal that's 34 years old that will take him through his age, 37 season?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely a possibility. We've seen it, it's worked with Charlie Morton, to certain degrees. I've always liked Sonny Gray. This is one that makes me feel kind of old today. He's turning 34 today. And I remember, being a young pup and really liking him out in Oakland, when I was first really starting to learn about like other baseball teams that weren't the Braves. But yeah, I think it would be a good signing. I think he would be expensive, clearly. But, I think this is a good match. He's a Smyrna native, not Smyrna, Georgia, Smyrna, Tennessee. So a little bit of a homecoming. And I'd love to have him. I think he'd be a great pickup.
Yeah, I mean, tell me if you've heard this before. Braves country fan as a young kid comes back and plays for the Braves. I mean, that's just happens so frequently. I love the idea, and I think that a lot of people don't think it could happen because of the things that Chase outlined: age, a contract term that's going to bring him to 37, 38 years old. Not typically Anthopoulos' MO. Let's just bring this to say. Charlie Morton, we all know this is not the standard. Charlie Morton is not the standard. Justin Verlander, Charlie Morton, these guys that are 40 years old and still have that 3 ERA, 3-ish, 3.5 ERA are not the standard. But that's not to say that Sonny Gray can't be that guy. We've seen him be that guy for the past few years now. And it seems like, most importantly, Alex Anthopoulos places an emphasis on a guy who's a veteran for the rest of the young guys. Spencer Strider's still young. I know Max Fried is approaching 30 years old, but let's just assume that he goes and walks in free agency. Then you got this next crop of young guns: Bryce Elder, AJ Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop. Now you got Sonny Gray to kind of mentor that next crop of starting pitchers. That's something to think about, because it seems like Anthopoulos does place a value on somebody like Charlie Morton, who could just he's an unlimited resource. I mean, just invaluable for these young pitchers to just go and pick his brain. And I think that Sonny Gray could potentially be that guy when, I don't know, we all kind of assume Charlie Morton's going to be retired next year too.
Yeah, I think, I think this is one of those things where if it gets into the 4-year range, it's not going to happen. If it stays in the 3-year range, like Chris Bassett got last year, who's kind of a comparable pitcher, 3 years, $60 million. I think that's much more realistic. Unfortunately, I think just because if you look at the rest of the free agent class, and I know teams are going to be spending money because the playoffs are expanded and everyone thinks they have a chance, that creates bidding wars for these top guys. And while teams are going to be hesitant to give Nola and Snell like the 150, 200 million, they're going to look at Sonny Gray and be like, oh, we can get this guy who's been just as good as those guys for $80 million. And that's where the bidding war starts for him. So I think if it stays in the 3-year range, it's definitely very possible. 4 years, I have a hard time believing that they do that. Interesting fact about him, pitchers 5'10" or shorter, he has the most WAR of any pitcher since 1995. Kind of.
That is a fun fact.
Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about the other guy that they have predicted to the Braves. Probably a little bit more realistic, but not nearly as sexy.